Hari Om and Namaste. I welcome you all back on this national webinar series Yoga Ramayana Vishwakosha History, a 108 days program. In today's session, Professor Subramaniam ji will be continuing on his lectures on Sri Raghava Pancharatnam, Lord Rama as an embodiment of Dharma with his stories.
वंदे सिंहमुमापतिं सुरगुरुं वंदे जगत्कारणं वंदे पन्नगभूषणं शशिधरं वंदे पशूनां पतिं वंदे सूर्यशशांक वह्निनयनं वंदे मुकुन्दप्रियं वंदे भक्तजन आश्रयं च वरदं वंदे भक्तजन आश्रयं च वरदं वंदे शिवं शंकरं श्रीराघवं दशरथात्मजमप्रमेयं सीतापतिं रघुकुलान्वय रत्नदीपं आजानुबाहुम् अरविन्ददलायताक्षं रामौ निशाचर विनाशकरं नमामि निशाचर विनाशकरं नमामि. Esteemed friends, Ramo Vigrahavan Dharma. Sri Rama is the very embodiment of Dharma. He is the very personification of righteousness. He is the great personality of a profound principle. He is the incarnation of divinity. Every word of it, every word of Sri Ram is truthful. Every action of Sri Ramachandra Prabhu is dharmic. He is on earth to be a role model to everybody. The role reversal is Ravana. Role model is Sri Ramachandra Prabhu. This Sri Ram had to go to the forest. His mother Kaikeyi, rather his father's third wife Kaikeyi, wanted him to go to the forest. He took it as a boon from Dasharatha. She pleaded with Dasharatha that Sri Ramachandra Prabhu should go to the forest for full 14 years. And Bharata has to be the king of Ayodhya. There are three things in her wish. Number one, Bharata should become the king. Absolutely there is no objection, because Bharata is also a noble character. He is also a pious person. Dasharatha Maharaj said, yes, let your son Bharata be the king. But why should Rama go to the forest? And that too for full 14 years. If Surya is present during the day, how can moon shine? If Sanskrit is taught, how can any other language blossom? If Sri Rama is present, How can Bharata be worshipped by the people? Bharata is no doubt good. Moon no doubt is good. Languages no doubt are good. But there is a special charm in Sanskrit. There is a special brightness in the sun god. And there is a special attraction in Sri Ramachandra Prabhu. Therefore, in the presence of Rama, Bharata cannot shine. In the presence of the sun god, moon cannot shine. When Sanskrit is present, no other language can be bright. Therefore, Kaikeyi asked for Sri Rama's exile. Fine. Why should it be for full 14 years? Why can't it be 13? Why can't it be 12, 10, 9, or even more? Then the reply is, the law of the land says, if a person is away from the capital, from the kingdom, from the country for full 14 years, the person loses the citizenship rights. When the citizenship is not there, one is disqualified to hold any office. More so, one cannot become the king. If Rama is exiled for full 14 years, number one, he loses his citizenship rights. He cannot occupy any office, claim any position. Also, people might forget him. That is the purpose, perhaps. Kaikeyi wanted Rama to be away for full 14 years. During the period of Mahabharata, Shakuni and Duryodhana wanted Pandavas to be away from Hastinapur for full 13 years. 12 years of exile in the forests. 1 year of incognito, Ajnatavasa. By the time we reached Dwapara Yuga, that 14-year period is reduced to 13-year period. During the Treta Yuga, perhaps it was the law of the land that a person would lose the citizenship rights if the person is away from the country for full 14 years. Similarly, in Dwapara age, it is a period of 13 years. Kaikeyi might have known that. Shakuni might have known this particular rule, and so Kaikeyi in the Treta Yuga, Shakuni in Dwapara Yuga wanted their respective people to be away from the capital for 14 years or 13 years. Now, Dasharatha is in distress. He is unable to be away from his son Ram. He wept. Meanwhile, Rama is ready to quit Ayodhya, and the chariot is ready. The great minister, Mantri Sumantra, is ready as the charioteer of the Ratha to take Sri Ramachandra Prabhu away from the capital. When Rama was ready to go to the forest, Sita was also ready. She came. And as Rama was dressed, Sita was also dressed in the clothes befitting the forest life. Dasharatha Maharaj could not put up with the sight of Sita Devi in the ordinary robes. Sita was asked to wear the full pattu clothes, silk saris, and she was asked to wear all the ornaments by Dasharatha himself. The rule is Rama should go, not Sita. Therefore, Sita is exempt from all these rules and regulations. She is well dressed, rich robes, and she is fully ornamented. Lakshmana, as a faithful brother, wanted to accompany Sri Ramachandra Prabhu. Lakshmana's mother permitted him. Urmila encouraged him. Urmila, the wife of Lakshmana, asked Lakshmana Swami to be a faithful servant to the elder brother. She did not want to accompany Lakshmana because her presence might dilute the service of Lakshmana to Sita and Ram. Sita wanted to go to Rama, wanted to go to the forest along with Rama. Urmila chose to stay back. In no way one is inferior to the other. Vibhishana left Lanka. He was righteous, correct was his decision. Bhishma stayed with Kauravas, right was his decision. The approaches are different. Vibhishana left his brother. Bhishma stayed with his grandchildren Kauravas. Dharma is to be properly understood. Sita proceeded with Rama to the forest. She is Pativrata. Lakshmana's wife Urmila stayed back in the capital so that she will not be a hindrance to the service activities of Lakshmana. Urmila is a Pativrata, so is Sita Devi a great Pativrata. Vibhishana is right in leaving Ravana. Bhishma is right in staying in Hastinapur. Actions are apparently different, but the spirit is dharmic. Rama's actions are always righteous. Rama's activities are always dharmic. Now, Sita, Ram, and Lakshman have entered into the chariot. They took their seats in the car. Their departure, their readiness to departure was not received well by Dasharatha Maharaj. He was stunned. He was taken aback. He was shocked. He was not able to put up with the sorrow. Therefore, at the final stage, when Rama was about to leave the palace, Dasharatha shouted at the top of his voice, Rama, please disobey me. Please do not carry out my instructions. Assert your rights. Tell me that you are the king of the land. Tell me that you have every right as the eldest son of the king to stay back in the kingdom as the king. Please disobey me. Defy me. Go against my instructions. Please do not go. Stay back in a state of delirious frenzy. Dasharatha shouted, asked Ram not to go. And Rama was not able to hear. He did not want to hear. He wanted to implement the words of Dasharatha given earlier. Long ago, when Kaikeyi helped Dasharatha on the battlefield, Dasharatha made a promise to Kaikeyi that he would grant 2 boons to her. And Kaikeyi said, I will ask for the boons when I need them. Now, when Dasharatha Maharaj fixed the auspicious day for the Pattabhisheka of Sri Ramachandra Prabhu, Kaikeyi thought it was right on her part to demand the 2 boons. By the first boon, Bharata should become the king. And by the second boon, Ramachandra Prabhu should go to the forest for full 14 years. This was a promise made by Dasharatha to a woman who helped him as a sign of his gratefulness, as an expression of his gratitude. He offered to fulfill the two boons to Kaikeyi, and that is Satya. Dasharatha Maharaj is dharmic. Dharmic he is because he is a Satyavrata. His word cannot afford to be wrong. His words must be truthful. They must be translated into action. The vrata of Dasharatha is to be truthful. Satya Sankalpa. Satya Vrata. And that Satya, when it is translated into action, it is Dharma. The spirit of Dharma is truth. The action of truth is Dharma. They are the obverse and reverse of the same kind divinity. One is the spirit, the other is the expression or action. Dasharatha Maharaj made the promise. He is a Satyavrata, Satya Sankalpa. His words cannot afford to be wrong. He cannot afford to deviate from them. Therefore, he had to implement, and he did implement. Who is to carry out his instructions? As a responsible son, as an obedient son, as a dharmic son, it was the responsibility of Rama to carry out the instructions of Dasharatha Maharaj. He readily accepted. And as Pativrata, Sita Devi wanted to go along with him. Rama tried his best to discourage Sita. He said, Ma, I am not going to any place of pleasure. It is a forest. There may be lions, tigers, elephants, wild animals. There may be floods, there may be cyclones, tempests. There may be the fire breaking. Above all, there may be accidents. Their life in the forest is not at all comfortable. You will not be well looked after. It is not possible because amenities are absent in the forest. She insisted upon her following Ramachandra Prabhu. At one point of time, she told Ram, my dear Ram, you are not to blame. My father was to blame, is to blame. He looked at you, your handsome personality, your courageous personality. You are known to be a man of strength. My father, looking at you, Ajanubahum, Aravinda Dalaya Taksham, Ramam, Nishachara Vinashakaram. You are capable of eliminating all evil spirits. You are capable of killing all Rakshasas. Dusta Sikshana and Sister Rakshana are your vows. You are sure to implement your intentions, your dharmic qualities, thinking that you are a person of abilities. My father gave me in marriage to you. But now, my dear Ramachandra Prabhu, I find you to be a woman. Striya Purusha Vigraha. You are in the disguise of a man, but you are feminine in spirit. You are masculine in appearance. Listening to the words of Sita Devi, Sri Ram smiled. Okay, my dear wife, you are welcome. And she accompanied. Lakshmana, of course, already decided to be with Sri Ramachandra Prabhu during the period of exile. Readily, the chariot was arranged. Quickly, he was to leave the palace, and the sight of Sita, Ram, Lakshmana leaving the palace was unbearable to Dasharatha Maharaj. He looked at them. And the same Dasharatha who had been dharmic, who had been a person of Satya Sankalpa, now shouted, asked Ramachandra Prabhu to be disobedient. Rama did not pay heed. He was ready to go. He was already in the chariot. Then Dasharatha Maharaj looked at the charioteer. My dear Sumantra, don't take the cart. Don't start the vehicle. Don't proceed further. Stay back. I am ordering you. Idi Anushasanam, Rajashasanam. Please stay back. And within the cart, behind the charioteer, is Sri Ramachandra Prabhu. He was following Dasharatha's words. What a change in his expression. He has asked him to stay. He has asked Sumantra himself to stay, not to proceed further. Now there is a dilemma. Should the cart start or should the cart stay back? Earlier, it was Dasharatha who asked Ramachandra Prabhu to quit, to go to the forest. Now, it is the same Dasharatha in body, mind, intellect to ask Ram to stay back. And he extended his command to the charioteer, don't go. Ram was very firm. He was determined to observe the first command of Dasharatha. He did not want Dasharatha to be called a person of lies. He did not want his father Dasharatha to be adharmic, to be known to the world as Asatyamurti. He wanted his father to be a Satya Sankalpa, a truthful person, a dharmic person. Therefore, he agreed to go and he was ready with Sita and Lakshman already in the car, in the cart, in the chariot. Now, Sumantra is in a dilemma. On one side, the king of the land, Dasharatha, is asking not to proceed. From behind, Ramachandra Prabhu is saying, Sumantra ji, please proceed. Start. Let's go. Should he listen to the king's orders, Sumantra? Or should Sumantra listen to the instructions of Ram? There is a difference. Dasharatha is the king of the land. And Ramachandra Prabhu is the exiled person who holds no office. Sumantra instinctively whipped the horses and they started. About 2 to 3 kilometers the cart has gone. Sumantra looked back at Sri Ramachandra Prabhu. My dear Ram, I was like a person between the front and back wheels caught. On one side your father asks me to go. On another side on one side your father asks me to stay back. And you ask me to proceed. What was I to do? And I finally took my decision and I proceeded. Am I wrong? Then Ramachandra Prabhu says, as a man of truth, he asked us to go earlier. Now, a man of infatuation, moha, a person of attachment to the sun, a person of affection, endearment, false infatuation to the sun. He forgot his duty. He came down and he asked us not to proceed. It is our duty to follow the instructions of a person who is truthful, who is not infatuated. It is not moha that is important. It is dharma that is very important. To be truthful is very difficult. Dasharatha Maharaj was first and foremost a truthful person, dharmic person, and in full brightness of that brain, intellect, he asked us to go. Therefore, it is our duty to fulfill his Satya Sankalpa. Let us follow dharma. Let us be tyagis. Let us not seek bhoga life. Hari Om Tat Sat. Mangalam Kosalendraya Mahaneya Gunatmane Chakravarti Tanujaya Sarvabhaumaya Mangalam Chakravarti Tanujaya Sarvabhaumaya Mangalam.
Thank you, Subramanyam ji, for your beautiful stories on Lord Rama, how he went to exile with following his dharma. Namaste.